Let her cook. Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, cause she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right. And it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Cait.
Have you heard that CaitlinClark's choice to make a move following her playoffs has not been well received by everyone? In other words, the WNBA and ESPN are incensed because they are seeing her recognize her worth, and it has angered them.
Say this, I love the point that you made about CaitlinClark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with off the court. We got to remember she's been box office, she was the main attraction, and there were so many storylines that's been associated with her. Most recently, the whole thing with her and Cheryl Swoops, even though it really wasn't her, it was Cheryl Swoops and all this. Every time you turned around, there was something that she had to do.
After her debut WNBA season, CaitlinClark has packed her bags to leave America for an off-season in Europe, but ESPN is not happy with this at all. They are throwing temper tantrums like a baby and acting as if they have any right over CaitlinClark, but after their dismissive coverage of the WNBA's biggest star, ESPN doesn't get to decide whether Clark leaves or stays in that pathetic league. They didn't care when she was playing under enormous pressure and still coming on top of the game. They didn't come to her rescue when she needed it the most. Now they are left scrambling for leftovers after she's gone because now nobody's watching WNBA. The burning question on everybody's minds now is whether she is leaving the WNBA to play in another league overseas. And let me tell you, all these news articles circulating on social media are unreliable, to say the least. These articles are not reliable, but what we can confirm is that she's already left America to pursue a 200-day vacation in Europe. But is she going to play in the European leagues? Well, here's what we know.
That news, we've already heard from CaitlinClark that she will not be playing overseas. She won't be playing in any organized basketball organization. She actually said that she is going to become a professional golfer during this offseason.
You heard right. CaitlinClark is prepared to start playing professional golf in her off-season after dominating the basketball court and sparking the WNBA. Her current goal is to break golf records in her name, and just in case you didn't know, she was an excellent soccer player in college. She stands out from the other WNBA players because she is a versatile athlete who can make an impression and succeed in any sport now that she is at the top of her game. ESPN and the WNBA have recognized that CaitlinClark is the golden goose, but it's too late. Her ship has already set sail over the Atlantic.
It's from one game where she scored 3 goals. That's right, 3 goals in one game. And I know these highlights are far from HD 4K, so I zoomed in after each goal so you could get a closer look. Caitlin does such a good job of staying on sides here, and then the second that pass goes through, she puts on the afterburners and then hammers it home.
Given how horribly the WNBA and her rivals have treated her this season, the question now is whether she should stay in the league or, like many of her teammates, depart for a stronger league in Europe or abroad.
Owning the fact that what really was their objective and what really was their agenda is that they resented the fact that this young lady who came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to endure.
Though CaitlinClark has declared that she is not joining any European leagues and may return to the league next season, the question at hand is whether she should stay in the WNBA and risk further losses of her fitness reputation and overall ability.
During this offseason, the players are already moving around. So a couple players have already announced that they are going overseas. We have Kelsey Mitchell going to play in China, Nalissa Smith also playing in China, and Nalissa Smith is one where there was a big question mark around her if she would be returning to the Indiana Fever, but she'll be going to play in China, and Temi Fagbenle will be playing in.
Yes, Caitlin's fans will follow her wherever, but wouldn't it be better if she could join a more powerful league? Furthermore, remember that European leagues provide more competitive compensation, more alluring bonuses, and better playing circumstances than the WNBA.
It addresses my point. My point is, she's the golden goose. You have been clamoring for attention. You've been clamoring for more cachet, fair and equitable treatment, chartered jets, weight room facilities, dollars, marketing opportunities, etc., etc.
Numerous athletes have already departed to offer their skills overseas after growing disenchanted with the WNBA authority. For example, Seattle Storm forward Gabby Williams expressed dissatisfaction with the WNBA's low salary and dearth of advancement chances. The WNBA officials chose to publicly ignore her rather than take any action to appease her. Gabby revealed the commissioner's deceptions as well.
NBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even...
After her appeals were turned down, she was forced to look for better opportunities, and in 2024 she accepted a deal with Bacha SK, a Turkish team. This is exactly what's wrong with the WNBA. They don't care if players are treated disrespectfully, receive reduced salary, or are fouled by other players.
In her exit interview, Storm player Gabby Williams warned the WNBA, if you want to keep international players, you need to do better. So here's what she had to say.
W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here. And I think I didn't express that when I first talked about prioritization. Our commissioner talked about us being able to, make 700,000. That's not true at all. There's not one player who makes that. And we were promised, team marketing agreements and league marketing agreements, but they've fallen quite short. So it's still not enough for us international players to want to stay here. And that's a choice of the players. If I make a choice to make more money and whatever, and then the teams are mad that I don't come back, but that's how it is. So yes, it just the WNBA, if you want us to be here, you have to pay us more. It's business.
And WNBA authorities have made CaitlinClark their greatest victim. While her critics did all in their ability to torment her on the court, the jealous veterans treated her with contempt and made fun of her. Remember the well-known IPOOK incident where the WNBA silently mocked fair play, while CaitlinClark cruelly celebrated a foul that Carrington had committed during the game with her teammates? Good sportsmanship, Angel Reese took part in the same celebrations after CaitlinClark was viciously fouled, and the WNBA once again blatantly ignored her violations and took no punishment.
Specifically, a lot of these casual fans who have come into watching the WNBA because of CaitlinClark, who plays a smooth style of basketball, who shoots from really far away, who makes great passes, who handles the ball well. People are coming for a style of play that is similar to that. They are not looking for post players to be posting up on one another, drop step, one step to the basket, cheap shots, fouls, slow style of basketball. They want to see a run and gun game, and I think that that is the most exciting way to watch a women.
What prevented an outcry? By this, I mean that ESPN did not in any way defend CaitlinClark or denounce the attackers for their egregious mistreatment of the best WNBA player to come out in a long time. In actuality, CaitlinClark is unlike anyone else in WNBA history. You can tell that Clark has had enough and is quitting a league that has been using her as a punching bag by looking at the number of fouls she has received this season.
CaitlinClark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against...
You heard right.
Why should WNBA Rookie of the Year CaitlinClark remain? We are aware of how much she has contributed to the Indiana Fever's success, and if Clark hadn't been injured, the team might have won that playoff match. During her debut season, Clark was given about 20% of the team's total fouls, or almost 1/5 of all the fouls committed during the season.
Issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is the team, she's the star. You always...
The frequent fouls forced her to defend herself physically. According to Clark, she felt like she was being battered.
She's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what CaitlinClark said. That is what she said, okay? But to me, it's a bigger issue.
While her team could only attract a few thousand fans prior to her, Caitlin was selling out stadiums, filling arenas, and changing the game after her debut.
Should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with CaitlinClark. CaitlinClark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the...
But has she been treated like the famous person she is by ESPN? Nope. They failed, and now they're trying desperately to keep their reputation intact. Clark is not just a celebrity, she is the best of the best, as evidenced by her repeated victories over Hall of Fame athletes like Diana Taurasi.
CaitlinClark has arrived on the scene. Record ratings, record revenue, everything that you could think, record attendance, everything they've never had.
Additionally, the league ignored her and allowed her to take dirty acts one after another without alerting the refs when she was carrying the entire WNBA on her shoulders. When their largest attraction was removed, they didn't seem to care, but now that Caitlin has had enough and wants something good for herself, they all appear to care.
You have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her. That is an issue, and that's not just an issue that the players have to work out. That is from top down. That goes to the commissioner level. Like, that is the level that needs.
Although the WNBA and ESPN are currently incensed, they had the opportunity to turn her into the league's spokesperson and create a brand around her, but they decided to let her go. CaitlinClark is sick of being used and ought to move on to something bigger and better. ESPN is free to rewrite the story however they see fit, but they were unable to sign one of the top players.
Very loud and conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving CaitlinClark. When we pointed that out, we said why? What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all.
As a result, we won't see CaitlinClark play basketball for a time.
That's it, you guys. CaitlinClark and the Indiana Fever were just kicked from the WNBA playoffs, and it looks like we're not going to be seeing CaitlinClark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that CaitlinClark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled league.
And once CaitlinClark departed, the audience was bound to dwindle. She stands out from the other WNBA players because she is a versatile athlete who can make an impression and succeed in any sport now that she is at the top of her game. ESPN and the WNBA have recognized that CaitlinClark is the golden goose, but it's too late. Her ship has already set sail over the Atlantic.